Hi everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Judy here. If you fight for freedom, democracy, and human rights, you've come to the right place. I upload weekly to this series, which talks about dictators and more. My friends, before we dive into today's topic, please allow me to thank the friends who bought me coffee from my website last week. Thank you so much for your kind support, my friends. Thank you. My friends, if you watched my previous videos on this channel, you know that I used to like Trump until 2012, right? Yeah, that year when I watched his show The Apprentice, I sensed that something was off. So I did some research and I reached my conclusion that Trump might have some dictator friends. As you know, my friends, I hate all dictators and I don't like the friends of dictators. So I stopped watching that show, and Trump hasn't been on my like list ever since. And if you recall, I've warned people that Trump would try everything to become a dictator if he was re-elected in 2024, that he would betray American allies and join the Russia group, that they would just ask Ukraine to give its land to Russia, and so on. Yeah, I predicted the future of America and the world if Trump was re-elected. I wish my predictions were wrong because as an ordinary person who has studied dictators and dictatorships, I really don't want to see more people suffer and struggle in dictatorships. But here we are. So let's face the harsh reality and try our best to fix it. Right now, I believe many of you feel that Trump has been doing important things, like destroying the US and its economy, breaking NATO, and weakening the Western world. So, is Donald Trump a Russian asset? I cannot answer the question since I have no solid evidence, but I can express my opinion, right? And my opinion is, I think so. And I know that many people share the same point of view, like the author of the book American Compromat. His book describes how Trump first appeared on Russians' radar in 1977 when he married Ivanka's mother. And then, according to the former KGB agent Schwartz, in 1987, when they visited Moscow, Trump was fed the KGB talking points and flattered by KGB operatives who followed the idea that he should go into politics. So Trump began to run for the Republican nomination soon after he returned to the U.S. Apparently, the majority of people back then didn't like his Russian talking points, like accusing ally Japan. But after spreading these talking points for decades, in 2016, Trump was elected as the President of the United States. Yeah, this book talks about how and why Trump was cultivated as a Russian spy or asset over 40 years. Also, It explores the relationship between Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. After reading this book, you might understand why the Epstein files will never be fully released under the Trump administration. Anyway, I agree with them on this. But to be clear, I don't know if Trump is a Russian spy because I'm just an everyday person who couldn't have the opportunity to possess such evidence. But I do know that the spy can become a leader because there are some real stories that have happened in human history, like the Joaquin Garcia story. If you haven't heard about him, he was an undercover FBI special agent. In his 26th career as an FBI agent, Garcia was best known for his undercover role as Jack Falcone, since he took part in undercover investigations in 24 of those years. And most importantly, he done undercover work on national and international cases without ever being discovered as an FBI agent. It was that great, right? Yeah, which was why it penetrated the Gambino crime family of the American Mafia in New York City for nearly 3 years. Garcia's efforts inside the Gambino crew paid off big time. 32 Gambino members and associates were arrested. And he would have been the first undercover agent to become a Mafia family member if FBI didn't close the case. Yeah, Garcia was that good. He was born in Cuba, and his family fled to the U.S. to escape Fidel Castro's regime when he was 9 years old. My friends, if you recall, I just talked about the dictator Fidel Castro recently. If you haven't watched that video, please check it out in the description or comments. And my friends, Garcia was a great FBI agent whose story shows that a spy could become a leader in 3 years. And Trump's story, well, right now we cannot reach any conclusions yet. So let's wait and see how Trump's story unfolds. Okay, my friends, in case you don't know me yet, I'm Judy London, a fan of Jack London. I'm a published writer who writes fiction and non-fiction novels and short stories. You're very welcome to visit my website, judyfaylondon.com, or Amazon to read my poems and my short stories. The last one, Mr. Rat, Candy the Dog, and so on, and my latest non-fiction book, Living with the Walking Dead, a roadmap for achieving your own success. I hope to see you there, and I thank you so much for your kind support, and thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channels, Judy Faye London and Judy Plus. Judy Faye London is a channel that mainly talks about culture, economics, and dictators and various events and people in human history, while Judy Plus is a channel that talks about interesting discoveries in the world of science.